Morning. I'm off to the market and talking about some random stuff, specifically inspired by my short visit to neighbors of ours, our good friends from Ottawa, Laurier and Wendy. I was just at their place borrowing a pair of pliers, and they had the TV on, and they had that Andre Rieu. You ever seen that guy, Andre Rieu? And it was one of his older concerts, not that much older, but there it was. And it was in this freaking arena. It was huge. It must have been about 12, 14, 16,000 people. And just an amazing, I was just spellbound looking at this. And I remember Andre Rieu because my parents used to play it on their TV when I used to visit them, well over 10 years ago. And I thought it was for old people. I kind of appreciated it, nevertheless, but for some, maybe it's because I'm getting older now, but I'm watching this spectacle today over at Wendy and Laurier's. Now, I think it was specifically this one particular concert that was playing on the TV. It was really, really something to watch, and quite well done. So anyways, we started talking about Andre Rieu, and they weren't sure if Andre was still performing, whatnot, and we had a little discussion about it, and I said, I'm going to go look it up on Wikipedia. So I went and looked him up on Wikipedia. And there's a point to all this. I'm going to bring it up in a second. So I looked him up. Morning.
Morning.
And so Andre's, the discussion that we were having was they thought maybe he was getting too old and he was getting sick. Not sure where they got that from, because I went to Wikipedia and, well, he's 76 years old, which is pretty young by today's standards. And I went to his website, and he's got these concerts all lined up for 2026. And so he's still going full bar. Anyways, I like Wikipedia. And I went to check out Andre Rieu. He's from Holland. He knows like 6 languages. He plays a Stradivarius, which I don't know much about violins, but as we all know, Stradivarius through modern culture is a really big deal, as far as I know. So I went and looked up the Stradivariuses, and the one he has is on loan to him. So there you go. So, it's kind of funny when you talk about, the aura and the culture and the, it's like as if I was to get Jimmy Page's Les Paul that he used in his early years with Led Zeppelin. Would it make me a better musician? Would a Stradivarius, is it really a better instrument? I mean, I know they're legendary, beyond legendary. And, I always ask myself, okay, with today's modern technology and the skills that we have, the ones we make nowadays, I think some musicians might say, yeah, but it's the age, and that gives it a sound. I don't know. I'm just being a little bit, not skeptical, but inquisitive. Anyways, my point is this. Damn the critics. I was reading a few reviews about Andre Rieu, and his critics seem to think that maybe he's not such a great violinist, but whatever. Look at the big picture. Look at what he's been able to do. He puts on these massive shows, all to celebrate visually and in a sense of community, celebrate music, which I believe in and of itself is amazing. He's probably an excellent musician, but what do I know? So the critics who are in any way, shape, or form critical, I could never be a critic. I mean, you're just going to find the negative in everything. They all seem to do that. And it's rare when you get somebody who comes out and says something is amazing, which happens. You know, when Star Wars came out, the reviews were pretty good, and other movies just like it. Anyways, so damn the critics. He's doing what he's doing, and if critics were honest, if anyone was honest, we have to ask ourselves, is it a matter of sour grapes? Are we pointing out the negatives and or anything that falls short of whatever that self-delusionary sense of the standards that, you know, which in and of itself, the standards are, they're not necessarily black and white, they're not binary. So by whose standards can we analyze and criticize something? I don't know. It gets to a point where it goes beyond, well, it's just good enough is good enough for the masses. So you just gotta, you know, keep going. And I'm pretty sure Andre doesn't give a rat's ass about what the critics say. And man, it's busy here. Look at that. Lots of cars. Anyways, yeah, I was pretty impressed by this spectacle, this visual spectacle. And just got me thinking on that topic. If I listened to and or was influenced by what others thought, I wouldn't have gotten anywhere in life. So one thing I realized, inspired by Dan Kennedy way back in my early years, was my ability, your ability to be immune to criticism is the number one factor in being successful in life. That's what we're talking about. All right, I'm out of here. I'm off to the market.